Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and another card making video. Today's video is part of a Hop for Eating Disorder Awareness Week, organized by Candace of Can Doodle Creations. We are hoping to bring awareness to this complex mental illness that has physical manifestations to stop perpetuating the stigma around them so that people can more easily receive treatment that they need. So today we are making our projects all in purple to help bring awareness, and let's jump into the card I'm making in purple today. I am starting with Distress Oxide ink, Dusty Concord. I'm going to blend this so that it goes about 3/4 of the way up my Bristol smooth paper that I'm ink blending on. I wanted when I decided I wanted to do this hop and use purple for a card, I thought it would be the perfect backdrop for maybe a mermaid under the sea. So that's where the inspiration started with this card. I am bringing in broken china from the top of the card and bringing that down about halfway so I can blend the two colors together in the middle, and it brings out a new purple. So to do this, I'm going to go back and forth between the two colors and really work them into each other. And I just find this really help with the transition of the two colors. So there I am ink blending that and finishing off my background panel. Next, I'm going to spritz this with water. Now, I gave it a really heavy mist, so when I blotted it with my paper towel, I left a perfect handprint. Now, this is the second time this has happened to me. But I decided so much of this is going to be covered that I'm going to go ahead and work with it. So I got some more bigger splatters on there and patted it down again with my paper towel to kind of, I don't know, hide that. And I dried it with my heat tool. I can still see my handprint there. So I smushed down my Dusty Concord onto a little window sheet, and now I wetted that with water from a paintbrush and splattered that across the background. I'll do the same thing with the broken china ink, and I just like layers of splatter to help disguise any flaws on a background. And because so much of this is going to be covered, no one's going to see my handprint, even though I still can. So I'm using this glacier paste from Nuvo to add some what I am going to consider bubbles on this background. Now, this is the snow falling stencil from Lawn Fawn, but I figured if I put the most concentrated part of the snow at the bottom of my card and had it go up, it might look like bubbles. And it turned out super cool. I was really happy with it, but we won't actually see too much of it because I am putting a snow globe on here. Now, I saw Mindy Egan on the Lawn Fawn YouTube channel make a snow globe card that was not for Christmas at all, and I loved that idea and thought it would incorporate really good with today's card. So I'm just showing you all the pieces I die cut out using that snow globe die set and the magic iris set. So pretty much you're going to need 3 of all the biggest pieces in this die set. Next, I am adding the same colors of ink around the edge of my snow globe so that they will blend together just a little bit, but I just wanted it to be almost like a reflection of the sea, which is another thing that Mindy showed in her video on Lawn Fawn. So I am doing that as well. I thought it looked really cool. Next, I'm going to do the same thing to these balloon-like pieces that are the moving parts of the magic iris. So I'm just adding the Dusty Concord to one side and the broken china to the other. I die cut the bottom half of my snow globe with some dark purple paper and these accent pieces from some glitter paper that's like, it's a really weird grayish black color. It almost has a touch of purple in it, and I thought it would look perfect on this snow globe. I'll add that to the large snow globe base, and then we'll go to work on the magic iris. So you're going to put the 3 balloon pieces into one of these circles, and then you're going to add a 3/16 of an inch mini glue dot to the X's that the die creates at the end of the balloon pieces. And you might notice I did spritz these balloon pieces with water just like I did on my background, but no splattering. You're going to hold those in place so that they are lined up with the curve of the inner and outer circles of that first circle we added it onto. Once that's in place, then you press down your second circle piece. Then you're going to flip that over, add adhesive where the perforated lines are on the inner circle. There's little, it's like a perforated notch. And then you'll line up these 3 pieces, I think these are called these stabilizer pieces, with those notches. You do not want to use liquid glue here. I did that the first time I made this, and the liquid glue can seep through those perforated lines and glue your magic iris together and it won't move. So flip that back over, and then you're going to add this piece, which is the like handle for the moving mechanism of the magic iris. Next, we're going to lay down our 3rd circle piece, or I kind of call it a donut piece, and then we're going to attach that by adhering these stabilizer pieces to them. So you're going to put adhesive on the stabilizer piece that's hanging out, and then you fold it over, but not too tight. You want to leave a little excess space there, so when you fold it over, it's going to allow this mechanism to have room to move. And there you have it, just like that. All right, so once you have that set, you're going to flip this over and bend in those little tab pieces so they don't show. And then I'm going to add adhesive all over the front of this and attach it to the back of my snow globe. Now, before I did this, I really wanted to bring in my background, so I kind of had a feel for how it would sit on the card, and that just kind of helped me place it better on my snow globe, I guess. Yeah, like that. Next, I am going to add a little piece of fun foam to the base of the snow globe on the back side so that it has something to adhere to the card. Otherwise, it's just going to be like hanging there. And it was hanging there for a little bit because you'll see in a minute when I attach it down, I forgot something. I die cut the snow globe part again with just a little scrap so I could have these little shine marks be glittered paper. So I inlaid that, and now you'll see here when you attach this magic iris to your card, you only want to put adhesive on those 3 stabilizer pieces, otherwise the mechanism won't be able to move. But I also should have put adhesive on the base of my snow globe, that fun foam I added. I didn't do that. I noticed it, and I didn't save it in the video, but I had to lift it up and put some glue on there and put it back down, so don't forget that. Next, I am adding the decorative piece, the colored piece, to my little handle, and I inlaid a glittered arrow there. Next, I am bringing in the stamp sets I'm using on this card, a bunch of the kind of under the sea stamp sets from Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to use a bunch of little images, the like little seashells and the little rocks. This particular Christmassy set has rocks just like the mermaid set has, but they're smaller, and the like seaweed pieces are smaller, and that's what I needed for this card. So don't put this set away just for Christmas. You can use it any other time you're making an under the sea card. Now we have the Life is Good stamp set. Now this one has bigger seashells than the one in the mermaid set, so they kind of go with the mermaid set, but you have a big one and a small one of 3 of the shells. And of course, the octopus set, I had to pull out this little fish. I like this one because it looks like it's swimming towards you. I love that. It just gives them a little bit more personality. So I'm going to color all my images very basic, really focusing on the purple and the teal from my background. So here you can see the markers I'm using on the screen as I color, and on this mermaid tail, I brought in V09 to kind of draw in some scales, and then I'm going to go over that with my lightest purple, the V15. That's the only time I'll use the V09, just for those scales there. Now for her hair, I love that her hair looks like she's floating in the water. So that's the one I chose to put on this card, but I'm using my darkest marker to add in some like her hair, the lines of her hair, and then I'll kind of fill that in with my BG45, and that just, I feel, gives it more of a look of motion, and I think it's super cool. So this is just really simple coloring. These images are pretty small, so it's easy to do simple coloring, and I will make sure you can see all the markers I used here on the screen in just a moment. And for the rest of the images, I kept it super duper simple. I used the darker purple on this seahorse's scales and colored them in with the lighter. And then like for the seaweed, I'm using that teal. So BG45 as my lightest and BG49 as my darkest. So all really simple. And then I brought in the same skin colored markers I used for the rocks and the sand dollar. And there they are, all die cut out and ready to go on my card. But before I start adhering those things, I wanted to add a sentiment that says waving hello. I like this sentiment because I feel like when I'm ready to give this card, I could add pretty much anything on the inside, like a happy birthday sentiment or a thank you, or, you know, get well, anything like that. And so this will be a good card that I can personalize later. All right, so I'll heat set that after adding on some white embossing powder, and then I'm going to add my little fish there at the top with a foam square, and on the inside will go the little mermaid, and I'll tuck her in. She fits really really fills the circle top to bottom. And then I thought the little music note would be really cute because a lot of snow globes have music, and if you bought a snow globe with a mermaid in it, you would maybe think there would be a certain song in there or one you might recognize from a movie. So I thought that was a nice addition. And then I'll add my little seaweed and rocks to the bottom. And then I just brought in all the other images, the seashells, the seahorse, and laid them out where I thought I would like them, and then set to work gluing them into place. And I do actually end up moving some of the seashells down there that are in that top corner of the snow globe there, right there. And you can see how I have the large and small seashells together. I think that's really cute. I'm going to glue this onto a note card that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and that will give it a nice purple border all the way around. And I thought I was done with this card, but realized I left out my white gel pen. So I'm going to bring that in and add some white highlights in and around all my images to finish them off. I just love the look that it gives them, especially under the sea. It kind of gives them more of a shine where things would look when they're wet, I thought. So I went ahead and added that in, and I am really happy with how this magic iris turned out with a snow globe that it probably fell to the bottom of the sea, and it's a treasure to be found someday. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you would share today's video so that we can spread more awareness about eating disorders. I would also love for you to hop over to Candace's YouTube page, Candoodle Creations. I have a link for her page below so that you can find out more about eating disorders and learn about the giveaways in today's hop. The next stop on this hop is also linked for you below, so hop over to Ashely Young's video. She's fabulous, and I know you're gonna love what she made as well. Happy stamping! Bye!